Good morning, class. We are Learning Group 22, and we are here today to present our HR corporate strategy, as well as the alignment to the overall company strategy for British American Tobacco, known as BAT, and Septidon. I'll first begin with an overview of BAT. They are a multinational organization founded in 1902 with a joint venture of UK's Imperial Tobacco Company and the American Tobacco Company of the United States. They are also the world's second largest tobacco manufacturing company. Moving on, in order to gain in-depth analysis of the corporation, we spoke with two HR representatives from BAT. Further, the overall strategy that BAT harnesses within the organization is to provide a better tomorrow by moving away from traditional tobacco products. They also plan to shift consumer demand towards less harmful products as there is increasing awareness towards the health impacts of using traditional tobacco. Next, the guiding principles are based on five key ethos known as bold, fast, empowered, diverse, and responsible. Further, the HR practices and organizational strategies are driven by the five ethos. Next, I'll pass it off to Bailey to discuss the HR analysis.
Thank you, Alden. British American Tobacco's training and development program utilizes a 70-20-10 principle, where 70% of the training is learned through on the job training, 20% is informal learning through dedicated mentors, and the final 10% is formal learning with in person and virtual training. The diversity and inclusion for BAT places a focus on embracing all of the diverse nationalities, cultures, and perspectives that exist within the company. This includes a continuous focus on a balanced gender mix, supporting the LGBTQ community, and providing support to working parents. The recruitment processes are very standardized and structured. This process ensures that all incoming candidates are high quality talent. On to the strategic analysis, we began with a reverse SWOT, where the key takeaways were how the industry is facing a threat by the shift of consumers towards healthier alternatives, which offers a new opportunity to continue pushing towards new innovations with substitute tobacco products. By leveraging their strength of being well positioned in the market, they should be able to hold a competitive advantage. For Porter's Five Forces, it was clear that they face high threats with the bargaining power of buyers, substitute products, and the existing competitors due to the shift in consumer demand for healthier products, the number of similar products in the market, as well as the large existing competitors. Their edge comes from their ability to leverage the power of suppliers and push ahead against new entrants by leveraging their brand awareness and market space. Lastly, the pest analysis demonstrated that BAT has a major challenge with the socioeconomic factors dealing with the government regulations that advocate for minimum age laws and the growing number of health-conscious consumers worldwide. They have to support a new generation of technology and are able to utilize this transition for new opportunities. Now on to Sabrina, who will introduce Septidon.
Thank you, Bailey. So for Septidon, we have the company was founded in 1932 by Annie and Esther Schiller. It develops, manufactures, and distributes a wide range of high-quality dental products over the world. This includes dental anesthesia. The company remains to be 100% family-owned by Oliver Schiller, which is the CEO, and it has over 1,700 employees worldwide. Now, for our project, we interview four different professionals. In between, we have HR people which works in the HR resource department, project management, and senior validation specialist. For the corporate analysis, we have that this structure is mainly functional with a mix of matrix and regional structures. Their recruitment process is long, where culture is the key, and they also use technology such as bio-video recruiters. It is constantly working to develop and innovate training programs, and they have a variety of them. Their HR strategy has two categories aligned. And the first one will be the original one, which is the dental activities, including anesthesia products. Because the market is very limited, they decided to expand, and now they're innovating towards medical segmentations. Now I'm going to pass it over to Laura, which will talk about training and development.
Thanks, Sabrina. So for training and development, Septidon fosters an environment for individual and company improvement through their training and development programs. Septidon offers a wide variety of training modules, including Septidon Corporate University, which is more broad and holistic, and ENOF training, which is more role-specific. Next, Septidont encourages diversity and inclusion by setting and maintaining a goal that every employee feels valued and respected. To further maintain cultural morale, at the Cambridge site, Septidont has implemented Spirit Days that celebrate foreign national heritage of their employees. Next is the recruitment. As noted on the slide, Septidont has an extensive recruiting and hiring process. They have a formalized recruitment process with a good mix of virtual and in-person hiring tools. Moving on to the analysis. First is the reverse SWOT, where it is evident that the lack of growth in current dental anesthetic market gives them an opportunity to expand their products and services into the medical industry, where they can tackle their internal employee turnover rate and maintain their globally recognized status while continuing to dominate the dental market. Next is the Porter's 5 forces. It is clear that Septidont owns majority of their market share by having a low threat of new entrants, low bargaining power of buyers, low threat of substitute products, a medium level of bargaining power of suppliers, and a very low rivalry among existing competitors. And finally is the pest analysis, which confirms the notion that the dental and medical market have large barriers to entry due to the government policy and regulations. It is also important to acknowledge that the dental anesthetic market is not very lucrative. Socioculturally, there is a growing trend for increased dental hygiene, and technologically, there is a constant need for IT updates in all pharmaceutical organizations. Next is Rohit to go over the comparisons.
Thank you, Laura. The first thing that we compared is the training and development. And in this, you can see the trend of BAT and Septidont having strengths in different aspects. BAT is really strong in on-the-job learning, meanwhile Septidont is not. And when it comes to coaching and mentoring, BAT has a really big strength here as well. Meanwhile, on the other side, Septidont is really good at use of technology, and their actual formal trainings are really strong too. The next thing that we looked at is diversity and inclusion, and BAT kills it here with gender diversity initiatives, orientation inclusion programs, equal opportunity employers, and being an embracive and being really culturally diverse. Meanwhile, Septidont really lacks in orientation inclusion programs, but they do relatively well in everything else. And the last thing that we looked at is the recruitment practices, and in these practices, we looked at the structure approach with formal recruitment guides. We looked at leadership assessment centers, of course, use of virtual tools and in-person interviews. And both companies do relatively well for the nature of their companies. And some of the things that BET, like we just mentioned, is that they could improve in use of virtual tools, and Septidont can do a bit better job of their leadership assessment center. And now I'm going to pass it off to Farhan to do a recommendation.
Thanks a lot, Rohit. So let's see what should the companies do in short, medium, and long term, both for organization strategy and HR practices. So talking about BAT, in order to win in combustibles, they should keep on expanding their operations excellence tools and distribution excellence in order to reduce costs and increase profits. For their new generation products, they should launch a new e-commerce platform, and they should focus on acquiring small yet significant competitors, which will minimize their threat of new entrants and substitutes. When it comes to HR practices, let's talk about training and development. So BAT should adopt dedicated coaches and mentors for all and 100% management rather than just high potential employees. Diversity and inclusion, BAT is doing a good job. But what we recommend on top of it is they should come up with a social media platform, and the name of it should be One BAT Culture to further promote diversity initiatives. And last but not the least, for recruitment, BAT should focus on behavioral tools and video bio recruiters. Now let's move on to Septidont. In terms of organization strategy, Septidont should focus in the dental segment for looking more global suppliers. For medical activities growth, they should engage proactively with regulatory bodies in future potential client countries. And when we talk about the HR practices, Septidont is well established in terms of training and development. However, they can further improve by having a dedicated coaching and mentoring program. Diversity and inclusion, Septidont needs to lift their game up. We recommend that they should launch a formal program with the name of Septidont Growing Together to promote diversity initiatives. And last but not the least, for the recruitment, Septidont should come up with a formal recruitment guide, which will further improve their processes. Now to conclude, I will pass it on to Alden.
Thank you, Farhan. So in conclusion, BAT should focus on winning in combustibles and new generation products, and Septidont should leverage innovation and manufacturing expansion. This concludes our presentation for today. Thank you everyone for listening.